Boxing's heavyweight division has always thrived on new blood, fresh excitement, and the rise of youthful contenders who shake up the established order. On Saturday night, in a packed arena charged with anticipation, Moses Itauma, only 20 years old, announced himself to the world in emphatic fashion. Facing former title challenger and seasoned veteran Dillian Whyte, Itauma delivered a blistering first-round knockout that has already become the talk of the boxing community. For months leading into the fight, experts and fans debated whether Itauma, despite his prodigious amateur pedigree and fast-track professional rise, was truly ready for an opponent of Whyte's caliber. Whyte, a dangerous puncher with victories over respected names, came into the bout with a reputation as a gatekeeper to the upper echelon of heavyweight boxing. If you could get past him, you belonged. If not, the brutal realities of the sport were waiting. Itauma, however, did not just pass the test, he tore through it in spectacular style. From the opening bell, Itauma showcased a composure beyond his years. Standing tall at over 6 feet 4 inches with a strong southpaw stance, he immediately established control of the ring. His jab was crisp, his footwork measured, and his sense of distance impeccable. Whyte tried to close the gap and impose his trademark rough, brawling style, but Itauma's reflexes and anticipation neutralized every approach. Then, with just over 2 minutes gone in the round, the breakthrough moment arrived. Itauma slipped a looping right hand from Whyte, pivoted sharply, and unleashed a thunderous left hook that detonated on Whyte's chin. The veteran's legs buckled instantly, sending him crashing to the canvas in dramatic fashion. The referee's count was almost a formality. Whyte struggled to rise but could not beat the 10. In less than 3 minutes, Itauma had done what many thought impossible: dismantle a hardened warrior in the prime of his comeback effort. The arena erupted. Fans knew they had just witnessed the birth of a potential superstar. Itauma's celebration was brief but telling. He raised his gloves, glanced toward his corner, and maintained the same calm demeanor he carried into the fight. "This is just the beginning," he told reporters afterward. "I respect Dillian Whyte. He's a tough fighter who's done a lot in this sport. But I've always believed in my skills, my power, and my destiny to become world champion." This performance will have major implications for the heavyweight division. At 20, Itauma has now leapfrogged into conversations reserved for established contenders. Promoters and analysts are already speculating about what comes next: a step-up fight against another top 10 opponent, perhaps a clash with fellow rising stars, or even a fast-track route to a world title shot within the next 18 months. What makes Itauma especially exciting is not just his physical gifts, youth, size, power, and speed, but also his mental maturity. Many young fighters succumb to the bright lights or lose focus under pressure. Itauma, by contrast, has consistently displayed discipline and an almost stoic confidence. His amateur background, where he collected gold medals and developed a deep technical foundation, has clearly prepared him for moments like these. Dillian Whyte, meanwhile, now faces difficult questions about his future. Once considered a perennial contender, this loss raises doubts about whether he can reclaim his spot among the elite. Known for his resilience and comeback spirit, Whyte has endured setbacks before, but the brutal nature of this defeat may force him to reassess his ambitions. At 37, the road back is steeper than ever. For the fans, however, the takeaway was clear: heavyweight boxing has a new name to rally behind. Moses Itauma didn't just win, he dominated, and he did it with a flair that demands attention. Social media exploded with highlights of the knockout, with comparisons being drawn to the early careers of legends like Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, and Anthony Joshua. While it is far too early to crown him the future king, the raw ingredients are undeniably there. As the dust settles, Itauma's team will likely map out a careful path forward. They will want to balance the hunger for big fights with the need to continue his development. But one thing is certain: boxing's heavyweight division, long in need of fresh star power, just got a jolt of electricity. Moses Itauma has arrived, and he's here to stay.